Hello again, welcome back to part 3 of the Calamity Death Mode No-Hit series. As you saw in the title, there was a certain boss that I struggled so much with, and it got to the point where I was literally thinking about giving up the run, or at least skipping the boss until later. Anyway, let's get started. First boss on the early hard mode boss list was Queen Slime. So I made a trip to the underground hollow to grab myself a gelatin crystal. I also grabbed a bit of hollowed ice and stone so I could spread the hollow on either side of my base, because I would rather have a hollowed desert than a corrupted one. I also grabbed some more pearl stone for using my main arena as the arena, because I was too lazy to use that small arena in the hollow as one. I spent a bit trying to farm cloud elementals for a specific weapon, although it goes about as well as one may expect when you actually need a specific drop from something. I actually did build an arena in the hollow and tried to use that for a bit, but I eventually gave up on that and switched to my main arena. After defeating Queen Slime, I went straight to Cryogen, and this is one of the bosses that I struggled with. Not as much as a certain boss that you'll see later in the video. I don't know why I'm keeping this boss a secret. Everyone knows who it is. It's Calamitas. Anyway, Cryogen was one of the bosses that I struggled quite a bit with, mainly because since you fight it in the snow biome, a lot of the projectiles, unsurprisingly, blend in with the background, which led to a lot of very preventable deaths. A little while of fighting Cryogen later, I got attempts that actually started to look like they might be the ones, but then this happened. Turns out there's currently a glitch or bug or whatever that causes the music to cut out randomly. It doesn't seem like this would be that big of a deal, but it kept on throwing me off over and over. Also, you may notice that effigies, I think they're called, and the only reason I'm using them is because 1, they give a good bonus to damage, and 2, I'm pretty sure they're allowed in no-hits. So, you know, why not? I eventually utilized another thing used in some no-hits called hammered platforms. The reason I use this is because usually, when you're trying to fall through all the platforms, there's a small delay that happens before you fall through the next one. Hammering the platforms removes that delay, so you can just fall for as long as you want with no delay whatsoever. Turns out the simple thing allowed me to beat Cryogen right after I added it. But I did a funny and forgot to record. So, whoops. Oh well, I can just record next time I beat him. Whoops, I forgot to record it twice. I am now just ever so slightly irritated due to the fact that I forgot to record the winning boss fight twice in a row. Now it's time for the twins, which were actually pretty easy. Alright, now it's time for the aquatic scourge. Can you stop beating bosses so fast? Pretty please? Like, please? Alright, now for the destroyer, and he's just a little bit bigger than average, you know, just slightly bigger than he usually is. Also, here's a fun little note for anyone who's going to fight Destroyer and Calamity. The Axe of Purity works so well against this boss, it's insane. I can literally drop his health from like 100% to like 40% in less than 20 seconds. After the Destroyer was defeated, I beat yet another really easy boss, also known as the Brimstone Elemental. Skeletron Pride? Yeah, he shoots rockets now, apparently. Overall, decent fight. Not that bad. Alright, now it's time for, as said in the title, the boss that led to me nearly giving up this run entirely, the Calamity clone. This fight absolutely sucked. It's not the whole fight that sucks, some parts of it aren't actually that bad, they can actually be pretty fun. But the bullet hells... oh boy. Maybe I'm just bad at the fight, but those bullet hells were probably responsible for about 90% of my total deaths. After a while, I started to get the hang of the first bullet hell in the majority of the fight, but then the second bullet hell appears. What's different about the second one, you may ask? Well, along with the normal bullet hell, there's another homing projectile that explodes into a bunch of other ones, which... I don't like it. I spent days on this boss. I tried different weapons, it didn't work. I tried switching out different accessories, it didn't work. And then I just said screw it after over 1,000 attempts later, and then decided that when the bullet hells came up I would just drop down my elevator and cheese the whole thing. This was unsurprisingly a disqualification for my no-hit if I decided to get it verified, which I wanted to do, but I just decided I'd do the boss later. Now it's time for Plantera, which wasn't too bad of a fight in the first phase. You can't really cheese the first phase though because of the spore clouds that spawn, but it's not that bad. However, in the second phase, Plantera speeds up faster than the average high schooler leaving school on a Friday afternoon. After a while of fighting Plantera and having some very, and I mean very, close calls, I finally managed to defeat her. Before we end off part 3 of the Calamity Deathmo no-hit series, I decided to try and fight Calamitas a few more times, and after a little bit of fighting, I was finally able to defeat it. As always, if you'd like to see the previous no-hits unedited, I have a playlist of all the no-hits done so far in the description, and well, yeah, see you in the next part.